Hello, and thanks for tuning in. If you're a homeowner or a do-it-yourselfer trying to mess with your air conditioning or HVAC system, this video is for you. So today I'm going to be talking about efficiencies of air conditioning and what you should be looking for when you're trying to decide which efficiency is best for you or what you should be going for. Some of the things to address right off the bat are the terminology. Efficiency of air conditioning will be referred to as SEER rating. They'll put a SEER rate, SEER rating, and that is a seasonal energy efficiency ratio. Fancy word for the higher the SEER, the more efficient it is, and would save you a little bit more money on your electric bill. So again, you want to go as efficient as you can. You want to save as much money as you can, but at the same time, you don't want to spend a bunch of extra money doing it. And sometimes that's where I think it kind of gets out of control, and the industry tends to trick you into thinking you need to spend a bunch of money, and they're going to save you a bunch of money. And I think I'm going to, at the end of this, you'll see I'm not a big fan of the super high efficiency units, and I'll go on later to explain that. But in a nutshell, they're too expensive. But so let's just go through some of this here. As far as efficiencies, you'll see this Energy Star rating. That's something that you see in the industry all over the place. And let's just see here. Bring this up. Energy Star rating. You've probably seen this before. It's on every appliance that is out there, and the EPA basically it's a guideline for them to put out high efficiency, energy efficient units. So you'll see this on every air conditioning, window air conditioner, refrigerator, freezer, any of that type of appliance, and AC units are no exception. So the only difference is when you see this energy guide on the side of an AC unit, that's, let's just say that like one that's sitting out beside your house, it's a central air conditioning unit. When these come in, the rating is to let you know what the unit will do sitting by itself without being hooked up with anything else. It's capable of putting out 15 SEER. So that unit sitting by itself doesn't do anything. It can't do anything at all. It's not like a window air conditioner or a refrigerator that's all fully contained. So these central air units come in and they'll have a 15 SEER rating on the side of them. And the actual unit is a 17 or 18 SEER unit. So I have homeowners and contractors both call me and say, hey, what's going on? I thought, I was getting a 17, 18 SEER unit, and then I get this. It says 15 right there on the side of the box. And it does. Plain and simple. It says 15, and so if you call and check with the factory, they're going to tell you the same exact thing. The 15 SEER is the Energy Star guide for that thing to sit out in the driveway by itself without being hooked up to anything capable of doing 15 SEER. The actual unit inside the box, after it's hooked up with the corresponding components, is capable of doing much more than that. And that's all going to be critical and down to what equipment it's teamed up with. So in a nutshell, hopefully that kind of straightens some of that out, because that thing can be confusing, and a lot of people do call me and say, hey, what's the deal? You bait and switched me here. I bought 17 SEER and you're selling me 15. Like I said, that Energy Star rating is great for some appliances, but when it comes to central air conditioning and heat pumps, no, it doesn't work at all. It's just confusing. So let's just go ahead and move on from there. Let me see what else I got here. I'll go over some of the pros and cons of what's going on with the high efficiency versus standard efficiency. And then some things to consider on whether or not you should spend the money. I mean, at the end of it all, you really need to know if you're getting your money's worth, I guess. So some of the pros that I see going with the high efficiency units, it lowers your electric bill. Obviously, that's a big selling point. Everybody wants a lower electric bill. It's a better quality unit because they don't spend all their money and put all the bells and whistles on their budget line. And just like in my previous video, I explained every brand has their budget, their contractor grade or middle of the road, and then they'll have their Cadillac with all the bells and whistles on it. Each brand does it. So they're not going to spend a bunch of money and make a super high efficiency budget brand. That's just not going to happen. So just rest assured that those are better quality made units. They're made with a little bit heavier steel, probably got a few more screws in it or something, but they're a lot more sturdy, you can tell for sure. Then the other thing too is these are Wi-Fi controlled, these high-end units. They're all computer operated, and it's what they call communicating. And so each piece in the system communicates with the thermostat, basically. The thermostat would be like a computer and basically computer controlled, but it gives you Wi-Fi capabilities. You can raise and lower the temperature of your house from anywhere with your phone. So it does add a level of convenience. So that is a pro. Some of the cons, the cost is much greater. So if you're looking at a complete system for a standard, just entry level system, you're probably looking at anywhere from $8,000 to $12,000 for a complete system from a reputable company right now. In this area, we're in central Indiana. So if you're going for one with all the bells and whistles, you're probably looking at more $18,000 to $20,000 range. So that's quite a bit of a significant jump. And to save how much money, we'll cover that here a little bit more in just a minute. The other thing they don't tell you is these units, the high efficiency units, are much bigger. To get that efficiency, they just basically put more surface area of the heat exchanger. So the heat exchanger basically is that outdoor unit that's sitting out there blowing hot air out of the top of it when it's running. So that unit is twice as big as they used to be. That being said, do you have room for it? You know, if it's sitting under a deck or close to a deck, you know, all of a sudden now you need a 2-ton unit that used to be about a 2-foot square, 24-inch by 24-inch square cube. Now it's twice that size. It's roughly a 4-foot square cube for the same size unit, tonnage wise. However, it's a lot more efficient. So just something to consider. These things are a lot bigger than the standard units. Replacement parts are expensive and sometimes hard to get. Absolutely. So with the high efficiency units, you have to have a specific part. You know, it can't be just nothing's just a fly-by-night part a guy's going to have on his truck. Like a capacitor, those days are kind of gone with the computer controlled stuff. It's all going to be specific not only to that brand of equipment, but for that specific furnace. Some things have to be programmed according to what thermostat they're using and controlling the whole thing, and it's all very technical. Very technical and complex systems for sure. You can't, you know, if one of the components goes bad, whether it be the coil, the outdoor unit, or the furnace or air handler, if any of those components go bad in the system, you can't just replace it with just anything. It's got to be something compatible with that computer controlled technology. They're getting better and better about dealing with that issue and finding things that are more compatible with each other. But at the same time, right now, it's very critical. So there's just more to go wrong, you know, in my eyes. More bells and whistles is great when it's all working great, but it's more to go wrong. And they don't save you as much as you think. So let's just go back here, go back to this. I think I lost a chart. Okay, we'll go here to a SEER calculator. This is something I always tell people to go for when they're weighing out these decisions. So I just type in SEER calculator, go to the very first thing that comes up, and this is just going to give you a basic a meter that you can go by. So if your system's pretty old, like from the mid-90s, you may have a 10 SEER, but more than likely that system's puked already, and so you're more than likely got a 12 SEER. So that unit's probably, if it's even a 12 SEER, you're probably looking at late 2000s or something, mid to late 2000s before those were popular. So that's probably what you have in your house. So let's just say that's your current one. Let's say you got a 3-ton air conditioner, which is middle of the road. You got about a 1,800 square foot home. 2-ton would be more about a 1,200 square foot home. Just kind of heads up. Let's see, we had 12 SEER, and we're going to switch to, let's just do 18 SEER, because that's about the limit you're going to be able to go. 18 SEER is about as high as you can go without starting to get into computer controlled technology. So let's just see what we get here. And they're saying that current AC unit runs $393 a year. Your new one's going to be $250 a year. All right, so let me just see what that math ends up being. 393. It's 143 a year divided by 12 saves you $11.92 a month. $12 a month. So let's just say it doesn't run all year. It only runs 3-4 months out of the year. With that being said, then okay, now it's saving you, $20 a month. But the issue is the thing's going to cost you 3 times as much. So then that brings me to, I guess, my last point here is some things to consider. Are you going to be selling this place that you're living in? Is it something you're going to be staying in for eternity? You're going to retire there? Because it's going to take about 20 years of this system running for you to recoup the money that you've spent on it. And then let's hope like heck, if it breaks down, somebody knows how to fix it. Let me see, do you have room for the unit? This new unit is going to be quite a bit bigger. And so it's just something to consider. And then how knowledgeable is the technician or the company that you're hiring to put this thing in? So I always say, if you're going to go with a system like this that's top of the line, I go with the biggest company you can get. They're going to charge you the most out of everybody in your area. But I look for a company that has a lot of guys and more than one technician that knows what they're doing. That's hard to find. So usually each company has their one guru guy that knows how to fix everything, and he's the one that installs these systems. I would just definitely ask them, hey, if you got more than one guy on staff that can do this system, something goes wrong, it's always going to be in the worst case scenario. These things never break down when you're comfortable and everything's going hunky-dory. It's always when you got company and it's a holiday or something crazy. So just some things to consider when you're dealing with these guys and getting some of these quotes. Like I said, a lot more bells and whistles just means a lot more to go wrong in my eyes. So that's really about all I've got for today. Again, if I've helped and you found some useful information in here, then by all means subscribe to my channel. I'll be coming out with some more videos soon. Hit the like button. And if I've offended anyone in making this video, I apologize. I'm just trying to help. So hopefully you found that useful. Thank you.